will be our regular session. We'll begin immediately following the study session. The study session is going to be SS-1 broadband deployment. Mr. Gornick?
Yes. Would you prefer to go there or here?
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
make any difference.
Where are you comfortable?
I'll do it.
Hey, Mr. Gornick, why don't you go to the podium?
Well, my day job is I work for the San Joaquin Valley Regional Broadband Consortium and the California Educational Technology Program. Next slide, please. The consortium consists of 8 counties, and that's kind of the map that we cover. It's San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Merced, Madera, Fresno, Kings, Tulare, and Kern. And it's housed at CSU Fresno in their Office of Economic and Development for the Central Valley of California. It really was basically focused on economic development, but next slide. In July of last year or this year, Senate Bill 156 was signed by the governor in 2021. It basically is a $6 billion bill, which does a significant number of things for the state of California with respect to broadband. Its primary focus, the rest of the next slide, please. It's improving and providing internet access to the most underserved and unserved residents of California. It deals with affordability. It deals with increased speeds and reliability. And also another focus is digital literacy. And the concept behind the digital literacy is that the more, I like to use the analogy of the highways. We went from the horses to the horse and buggies to the highways, and there were 2 lanes, and you can hardly find a 2-laner on 99 anymore, because they're either 3 lanes or 4 lanes or 5 lanes. So the more people we have, the more people are going to use the internet. They need more capacity, and economic development is going to follow where broadband is provided, it's affordable, and it's able to handle the capacity that's there. So it's something for us as a council to keep in mind in terms of as we try to track business. And I know Nathan always does it. Matter of fact, Nathan, I got a quick preview of the Lemonade guys over there and the technology that's in that facility. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Really is awesome. If they could help us recruit more people with that kind of technology, it'd be great. So it's important for us as we attract people and as we talk with providers who want to bring in a service and expand their service here. We want to make sure that they bring in the kinds of speeds that are necessary to attract employees to bring in the kind of technology that will sustain their businesses. The law also expanded the current laws, and it created some new laws to assist cities, counties, and nonprofits with flexibility in financing, in bonding, and in loan capacity to achieve greater adoption rates among residents. So it enables counties and enables cities to use these new laws to get access to capital at excellent rates, allows them to do some bonding capacity and to charge off that service to pay off those bonds. Are very similar to what we do in our municipal services now, with water and sewer and things in that way. We have some bonding capacity against that. Also, one of the things that they allowed this year is through California Public Utility Commission, they allowed cities, counties, tribal entities, nonprofits to request money for planning. And Kings County submitted a planning grant. And I believe Nathan has already reached out to Kings County we want to be a part of that. We want to make sure that we have the speeds, the reliability, and the affordability throughout our city boundaries to not only retain business, but to make sure that our citizens have the kind of access they need for broadband in the home. And I'm making a distinction between cell service and having a computer at home and being able to access the kind of services that are out there. Be able to pay bills online, banking, education. You all know what happened with the pandemic and education with respect to how that worked for young kids and teachers as well, and moms and dads. So those are the kinds of things that are available that we'll be able to participate in this next year in terms of planning some things with the city. Okay, the next one, please. There is a California Department of Technology. They established a new Office of Digital Literacy. One of the things that they are very adamant about is that it makes no sense to provide broadband services and provide equipment in the home if individuals only use it. If they only use it to play games. But if they can use it for banking, if they can use it for telehealth is a big issue now with respect to not only even in the medical schools, they're training doctors and nurses and physicians assistants how to use telemedicine to provide better service. To take care of the initial discussion, if somebody has an arm, they're playing video games and it's sore, you don't need to run to the emergency room. You could get on your computer and dial it in. They've created a statewide open access middle mile broadband network, and in a little bit I'll show you what this network looks like. This is separate than what AT&T or Comcast or Frontier would put in that's already in the ground. This is a network, a middle mile network that's funded by part of this $6 billion that the state is allocating throughout the state. They have exempted for linear broadband projects. They've got some exceptions in there for CEQA, so that it doesn't need to be a cumbersome process or to slow down a process. If during our planning process we want to identify an area where we want to bring in cable, the permitting process that we might have or the county might have can be expedited for this purpose, as long as we stipulate that the reasons for it that match up with the bill. They'll allow that expedited process. They've expanded the California Advanced Services Fund, which is a fund that's available for providers and nonprofits and cities to submit applications for grants and specifically these funds are focused on economic development and economic growth, job creation, social benefits of advanced communications and technology, applying for jobs, education, public housing, all public housing that goes in. They want to make sure that those residents have access to affordable, high-speed internet, and that those processes that are in place. And they ask, and we got a flyer about 7-8 months ago that asked like councils and supervisors and counties, take a look at your zoning and what you're requiring of these type of facilities to make sure that they are being built for the capacity to have broadband in that, because that's the goal of this legislation, is to make sure that we have 99.9% of our residents who have access and can afford and can have speeds that are accessible to allow them to do the basic functions of internet access. There's also a broadband loan reserve fund that cities and counties could loan against to get projects done. It basically, the bill eliminates what we used to have in housing is redlining, where, you know, some people are going to get it and some people aren't going to get it. And they're saying if a carrier is bringing a line down Hanford Armona Road, they have to provide access to everybody on that street. Doesn't mean everybody on the street has to take it, but everybody on that street has to have it. And if they can't afford it, they have to be able to access the affordable plan that's there. So that's one of the ways that this bill is affecting that. Marissa, next slide, please. So I just want to briefly kind of go to this website, and kind of glad to see there's people in the audience there too. If you want to take a look at this, it's an interesting website. It's the California Department of Technology, and we could expand that a little bit. Good. Go to the middle mile. Right there, yeah, in the middle. So high-speed internet should be available to everybody, including cities.
So is this high speed that we're currently looking at or no?
But if we could go scroll down a little bit, looking for the maps. Okay, the network right there. Let's go back up one. You can click on that. What's middle mile broadband network? Okay, so what this is focused on, what the state is investing their dollars in, are the middle mile. A lot of the discussion between the carriers and municipalities and counties was, well, it's a lot of money for us to invest in to go from point A to point B. And the state, with the help of the federal feds, and this is all of the United States, it's not just California. They said, well, you know what, we're going to take care of part of that. We're going to put the middle mile in. So that argument we're going to take off the table. Now let's talk about the last mile in terms of what is occurring. So between what's being built right now in terms of the middle mile and the last mile, getting from one particular point to the actual homes that are underserved or unserved, that is framing the conversation right now. What is that last mile from us to get from, let's say, from Avenel to Kettleman City? Okay, that last mile. What's the distance there? The middle mile is already there on I-5. So how do we get to Avenel to Kettleman City? Let's see if we can go to on that link back up to the top. Now, statewide network map. Okay, if we can expand that a little bit. This, what you see in the orange, is all the network that the state is funding right now. And that changes about every 90 days. And it changes because of the work we do in and there's 13 consortiums throughout the state. So what we do in the consortiums, we identify areas where, you know, it might be better for us to come down Highway 41 than for us to come down Highway 143. Okay. Because if their focus is on more rural areas, that would, and that's not the argument we're making, I'm using that as an example, but that would be the kind of an argument you would make to the CPUC and get supporting communities to support that, and Caltrans to support it as well, because the types of fiber that are available, you'd be surprised how much is already out there. Not only between what the carriers have developed, but also what's available that it's not being used. They call it dark fiber that needs to be purchased or leased. And so that's how deploying this network, which is named the Golden State Network, GSN. That's a new network that California is going to have that has open access. So the carriers can decide to use that network to expand their services and use less of their capital, or they could stubbornly say, no, we're going to use our capital and this is how we're going to do that, that approach. So that's what's going on in the state right now. And It's over 10,000 miles that the state is putting in the ground. About a third of that is already in the ground and being deployed. My concern is that sometimes it reminds me a little bit of the high-speed rail, because there's already some stuff out there, and so why are we building some more stuff again? But it's above my pay grade to answer that question. But that's kind of what you see a lot of redundancy in some of this stuff. But so that's where the state is going, and I think it has great possibilities for us in terms of attracting the kind of businesses our city manager is going after, and what it provides for our residents as well. So that's my. And yeah, happy to take any questions you have.
Well, go ahead.
You mentioned for the residents, does that just is it going rural? Or is it just in city limits?
No, it's
Rural?
beyond the city. Yeah.
Gotcha. So the parts
Exactly.
where people can't get internet, they have to have the satellite internet to be able to have more dependable.
Well,
internet service.
yes, and there's a lot of different kinds of technology that are available now that wasn't available or affordable 5 years from now. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of access to different funding that carriers can provide. Not everything has to be done by cable to get high speed. There are other ways that radio frequencies, things like that I've learned about that are available and reliable too. But you may have in a small town, small rural town of, let's say 3,000 or 4,000 people, it may be easier, let's say even up in the foothills, it may be easier to bring 4 or 5 aerial antennas, if you will, and cover a 5-mile area that would encompass a small community of 1,000 people, 1,500 people, things like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Good.
Hold on real quick. Is there any questions in the audience, or does anybody have any questions? No, council?
I guess I'm missing, wouldn't it be easier just to lease the same fiber optic lines that AT&T has already spent millions of dollars to put down, and Comcast and all that, and just use that $6 billion on subsidizing the cost of that? I mean, it's kind of like reinventing the wheel, building another network that we already have, Comcast, we already have, and that's just maybe I'm missing the boat here.
It's a good question, Dave.
Oh,
The 2 things. Number one, some of the larger providers are caught in a conundrum. They've been at it for so long. Even broadband kind of wears out. The more you use it. And some of the early adoptions of copper to the home instead of fiber. The farther away you get from your point with copper, it diminishes the service. Okay. And so they're in a bit of a dilemma too, in terms of investing in upgrading their equipment. So that's why the state is saying, okay, we'll come in with some of this funding. You can use some of this open source capacity to lease some of this fiber. And that's where we're in the stage right now. We're in the stage right now of kind of negotiating what's the best approach to do that. The other point you mentioned was subsidies, and it's called the Affordable Connectivity Plan, ACP. And you've gotten information about that. The city has, the council has. It's $30 that if a family or an individual, excuse me, not a family, but an individual qualifies for it. There's a number of ways you can qualify for it. I hope I can remember them all, but if it's Pell Grant, if you're in college, if you're free and reduced lunch, if your child or your children have free and reduced lunch, your family qualifies for it. The CalFresh. If you qualify for CalFresh, you will get $30 a month credit for one of the services. You can go for the lowest one, or you can go up the next one and take $30 off of that to qualify for it. So there is dollars available for subsidizing as well. And there's a lot of talk about scaling up that subsidy or putting a index around it for inflation, et cetera, so that that goes up as the bill goes up. Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's going to take us into our regular session. We're going to go to call to order, and we're going to have invocation by Mr. Ron Tooman, who is the Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department chaplain. So everybody go ahead and stand up. And once he's done, stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, let us pray. Dear Father, we humble ourselves and seek you for counsel and wisdom. We are very proud to call Lemoore home and thankful for this community. First of all, we'd like to pray for Lemoore Police Department, who strives to keep Lemoore safe and a community enjoyable to live. We pray for Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department as well. Bless them as they respond to the unfortunate tragedies here in our city. And thank you for the firemen who went up and got that amazing tree on our main street. It is quite the sight to see. Father, we would like to pray for all the employees of our city, for the teachers, the school boards, our business owners. May each of them thrive and take pride in what they teach, what they sell, how they bless this community, and also our affiliates. Finally, I would like to pray for our council and our mayor. May the decisions that they decide, may they be a blessing for now and for the future of Lemoore. May they be a council that seek you in the things that they do and how they make decisions. May we be a people that praise you, Father. Bless our families, our friends, our neighbors, and our city that we call home. And I hope we have a Merry Christmas. And in Jesus' name we pray these things. Amen.
Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Tooman.
None. None.
Okay, roll call.
Good evening. Councilmember Cheney.
Here.
Councilmember Gornick,
Here.
Councilmember Orth,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Matthews,
Here.
and Mayor Lyons.
Here.
Thank you.
Good job. You got them all right tonight. Agenda approval, additions and or deletions.
There are none.
There's none. Okay, that's going to take us into public comment. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This time is reserved for members of the audience to address the city council on items that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. It is recommended the speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the council, any handouts for council will be provided to the city clerk for distribution to the council and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the mayor opens it up to the public. So at this time, is there anyone that has public comment? Chris Cawley, you got some? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were getting ready to stand up. No? Yes, sir. Please state your name and address.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alex Walker, Mission Drive. I'm here to proudly represent Lemoore Rotary and announce that we have begun giving out dictionaries to every third grader in our community. Personally, I visited Meadow Lane this morning to give out over 60 dictionaries to the students. They're very excited to receive it. We did a little dictionary scavenger hunt, so we had them look up different words like dinosaur and service. There's also other tools in the dictionary as well, such as a periodic table of elements, a multiplication table, an atlas of America, it's talking about different state facts. So we had them look up California, for example, and they were very excited. Some of them never held a dictionary before. I know we have our cell phones, computers nowadays, but it's very important that the students learn how to use a dictionary, have a tangible piece that will help assist them in their educational journey. We are currently working with local schools to secure how many dictionaries we need, and we're already in the process of giving over 600 of them to the local school children. So we're very proud of our project and very proud to share this news. If you have any questions, please let me know. I yield my time.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Okay. Is there any other public comment? Nothing online, going once, going twice. All right, so no more public comment. Takes us to ceremonial presentations. So 1-1. The Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department Firefighter of the Year from the American Legion.
They're all excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. The American Legion every year contacts the fire department and they want a nominee for the Volunteer Firefighter of the Year award. And this year, we have chosen Mayor Stuart Lyons to receive this. Stand right there for a moment. This is from the American Legion, says firefighter certificate of accommodation presented to Stuart Lyons. Ha, they spelled your name wrong. I love it. Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department. This combination is awarded for outstanding public service benefiting our community, state, and nation, presented by American Legion Post 100, Lemoore, Department of California, the 6th day of December, 2022. And this is the little thing I put together to send to them to nominate you. And it's Stuart Lyons joined the Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department on May 14th, 2002. Since joining the department, Stuart has taken on several roles. He was the association president in 2016, vice president in 2015. He has served on the department's rating and membership committee in 2016, as well as the executive committee in 2015. He has fulfilled the chairman position on several committees at one time or another. He has served the department as crew captain, secretary treasurer, and is currently serving as the mayor for the city of Lemoore on the city council. Stuart responded to 744 calls for service in 2021 and has accumulated more than 11,780 calls for service during his 20.5 years with the department, which include fire, public assist, and medical calls, as well as department meetings, trainings, and exercises. Stuart is a loving husband to his wife, Mona, enjoys life here in Lemoore with their 2 rescue Dachshunds. Stuart is a hardworking, lifelong citizen of Lemoore. He attended all local schools, including Lemoore High School. After high school, he attended classes at West Hills College. Stuart currently works for the California Department of Corrections and has been there since 2004. Not only has he volunteered his time for the fire department, he has sat as a city council member and most recently the position of mayor of the city of Lemoore. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And they would like to present this plaque to you.
Oh, we got my name right. I appreciate it. And to get all those good words out of Bruce, that's an accomplishment. Don't scratch it. Right on.
And we'll get this fixed.
Oh, okay.
That's my fault.
You'll remember that one. Well, thank you guys. Can I get all of this? Come over here. I want to take a picture of you guys. You too, Dave and Chris. We gotta go say it. Yes.
Are we getting out?
Patty.
Must be.
Oh,
It's gonna give you.
All the round things on the phone.
Well, thank you guys. Thank all of you guys very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing like calling up your chief to give you an award. That's. Now, where were we? Oh,
1-2.
1-2. The appreciation award for Mr. Dave Brown. Mr. Olson.
So good evening, Mayor and council members. Mr. Brown, if you could come back up to the podium, I'd like to put you front and center for a moment, but Dave Brown, since I've been in Lemoore, has always been like the graffiti remover for the city of Lemoore. And since he's retired, he has stepped up his game in keeping our city looking clean, keeping the negativity, which helps reduce crime, I'm told. The quicker you can get that graffiti off and some of that negativity, the better off your community is. And I always appreciated you, Dave, but it really set in when Nick, who's in charge of our maintenance division, came up and was like, can I do something for Dave Brown? So Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you, young man. Come on up.
Dave told me not to do this. I know, I'm sorry. He's dedicated so much time on his own, so much that he's taken the workload off of us. And from letting me know for text messages and anything as he's done it already. And you and I both know that it's like a daily thing. I mean, it's a full-time job, and we can clean up a bunch of stuff one day, the next day they hit it again and twice as hard. So true. I just want to commend you for that because you take so much work off of me and just you help us all out, all of us, the whole citizens, everybody appreciates it. We all know. And I let people know too.
Yeah.
Dave Brown.
Well, it's a team effort.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
And you guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, your city, where they work hard. They work hard to do what they do. And they put a lot of, thank you. But they put it, wow. Yeah. And geez, on Pete's. Yeah, I get a hernia from that. But
I don't do that. You won't be able to work.
I know. But no, I want to tell you, these guys, city, they work hard. Seen it firsthand out there. So it just, when I retired, I just wanted to do volunteer work, and that's one of the things I do. And I enjoy doing it, believe it or not. But and there's other people out there that, many hands make light work. So that's all I got to say. But no, thank you. Keep up the good work yourself, brother.
Back on you.
Yeah.
So much.
So
Appreciate it. Thank you.
can we get a picture with Nick, Dave, and the council members, please, for our website?
Well, you know.
Thank you, David.
Attaboy, Mr. Brown. Okay, moving on. The Department of City Manager reports.
Good evening again, Mayor and council members. First up tonight is Chief Kendall.
Do we have an award for him?
Oh, no.
No, not yet.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I have a few things to report out on. First off, Reserve Officer Ortiz will be sworn in at the police department on Thursday at 1 p.m. You guys are all invited. David Ortiz is returning back to us, and we're welcome to have him back into our reserve program after a short stint at another department. And he just felt that it was better off working for us. So he came back.
Where was he before?
One of the M's up north. It was either Merced, Modesto, or I don't remember. One of the M's.
One of the M's.
The last day for shopping for a reason for the season is Saturday, the 10th at 6 in the morning at Walmart. The gift wrapping for those presents will take place on the 13th at 10 at the PD. Reason for the season gift distribution will take place on the 16th at 1 p.m. at the PD. And lastly, Presence on Patrol will launch off at noon from the PD on the 20th. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, Ray Greenlee.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. All I can say is, wow, I'm glad I didn't have to follow all that. I'm glad that I gave it to Chief first, because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna really bring it down. Anyway. So I just got a few things to go over for the department. First off, I'd like to start off by giving Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Matthews, your medal for your participation in coming in second on the run or walk.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
Did you say that was a second place
Yeah,
award or
it
a
was second
participation
place.
award?
But she was first place for council member.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's all that matters. Talk a little bit tonight about Jingle and Mingle. Everyone was there. Thank you guys for all showing up. We had 1,000+ people. It's hard to estimate exactly how many because we had people coming in and out all day long, but I think the event was a success. We had 24 vendors and we had 12 Discover Downtown store merchants who participated. So it was really good. I want to thank the following people. I want to thank Aaron A-Dog Martin, who's with the fire department. He is the Lemoore Christmas tree chairman. So I want to thank him. Great tree. Thank the Lemoore Fire Department. Awesome tree. Because I mean, this year having those Christmas lights, the LED that are multicolored, man, that thing just looks good. If you drive downtown, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So great job there. I want to thank maintenance department. I thank Nick Machado. And I also want to thank both of his sons, Kyle and Brett, because they were out there and they helped him, which is pretty awesome to see. They always do that with their dad. So I wanted to thank them. I wanted to thank Eric, this is also maintenance people, Eric Romero, right? Yeah. Eric Romero, Richard Soto, Dallas, Ambry. I did it wrong and I apologize to him last time. I did his name wrong. And I also want to thank the Lemoore Police Department. I want to thank the Lemoore Rec Department, Stephanie and Nyack, which are in the audience. We got Stephanie and Nyack. All right. I want to thank the Refuse Department, Nacho Carrillo and Chris Benuelos. They brought a bunch of cans and stuff out there, and then Nick and his staff also dispersed them. So I want to thank them. And our sponsor, which was Natural Healing Center. That was awesome that they sponsored us. And I think it was a great success. So before we go any further with that, we do have the raffle that I would like the mayor to come down, and we're going to move the barrel and I'll spin it and you open it up and you draw the name and you announce.
What if I pull my own name out though?
You're gonna draw again.
We
Okay.
we went through it, made sure.
Unless Mona wants it, then.
Can you let them know what they're drawing for?
We are trying for a Traeger, which is on the raffle brochure right there. And it's a pellet barbecue that we purchased locally through Lemoore Hardware. and want to thank them also. So I will go ahead and stir the pot. And you can open up here. Grab a name.
That's where we have it.
Pick a winner.
Hey, you have to announce.
You're the man of the hour, so.
Okay, well, let's see who won the trigger. Mark Garcia. Should I announce his phone number?
No.
No, no. No, how about his address or his email address?
No,
No, okay, all right. So Mark Garcia,
he is the winner. We will contact him. We have his information, so we'll contact him. Thank you. And then last, I wanted to announce that we have breakfast with Santa this Saturday at the Recreation Center. We're inviting everyone to attend. It's from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So there's going to be a lot of activities. There'll be food. Of course, you have to pay for, and there's going to be pictures, all kinds of good stuff. So that's it.
don't
Thank you.
go, we got questions.
What's that?
I said,
Oh,
don't
you-
go, we have questions. I know
We have
someone
questions?
does.
Okay,
All right, I guess no one else does. I guess I'll ask a question.
okay.
The, what was it called again, that event we were talking about where you did the drawing?
Jingle.
The Jingle and Mingle.
Jingle and mingle?
Is this gonna be an annual event?
Yes,
Yes, it is. You're right.
yes.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that that's on record and, you know, everyone knows to show up next year.
Absolutely. We're gonna do, we're gonna make it bigger and better next year.
Right on.
So we plan on growing it. So, and I want to thank also council, and I want to thank our city manager. And all the citizens, everybody that showed up.
Well, I want to thank you guys for doing it, and I also want to thank you for doing it on that day. That has been a struggle with the fire department for a long time. We've always wanted there to be something done on that day. And this year we were fortunate to where that other thing went away and it was kind of left in the air. And I asked Nathan to have the city do something, and that's what you guys all got. And I hope it was liked because I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
It was. And I also forgot to mention, sorry, I got a cough drop in
Yeah.
my mouth. Also Trenton Williams, he was not able to make it tonight because we have our soccer is ending for the little guys, for the 3 and 4-year-olds tonight. So we didn't want to take anything away from that program. So, but I will have him here one of these evenings and introduce you to him. So he did a great job for us also.
And one other quick comment too, the light switch was built in-house
Yes.
by our maintenance staff and
By Nick Machado.
What, Nick built it, right?
Yep.
yeah.
That was cool. That was very, I don't know how you hooked it up to the tree like that. It must have been Bluetooth or
Well,
something or.
It'll be nice if we can get some broadband in. So next year, we're not using the PA through a radio, but I will say for the communication to get the switch flipped, it was spot on. Like it actually worked real good. The switch was at the halfway point when the lights went on. We've got photo evidence of that. And that was no easy feat because you couldn't hear the announcer with the background noise. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah, so thank you to you, Nye, Steph,
And Trenton.
and Trent and Nick.
Yes.
Great job.
Everybody that did that. Good job.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing that.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, and that leaves us, I have a couple things. So on 12/13 at 5:30 here in these chambers, we'll be council members Orth and Matthews will be doing a downtown roundtable with our local businesses. So if you have not signed up yet, go ahead and reach out to the city clerk. If you want to attend that event. Today, the mayor and I went up to Tulare to District 33 for Assemblyman Mathis. He had his swearing in at Sacramento yesterday, and he brought all his new cities and some of the electeds and the city managers together for meet and greet luncheon today. So we appreciate that. Tomorrow we'll be blessed with the presence of the State Department of Drinking Water. We'll be spending the day with them doing sanitation surveys on all the city water facilities. So that's happening tomorrow. And like just wanted to express gratitude for the Jingle and the Mingle, the parade we just had. I've heard nothing but good things coming out of the rec department, the events we're having. So truly appreciate it. We're coming back and we're gonna get bigger and better as we go along. Like to thank our sponsors. We did get sponsor money from, as Ray mentioned, Natural Healing Center to cover the expenses of what we had going on during these events. And then Stuart, congratulations on your award this evening. And I'm sure that's no easy task to pick somebody. We have 35 dedicated individuals over there that save the city a lot of money. And if my house catches on fire, I can rest assured that I'm going to have at least a dozen guys showing up within probably 3-4 minutes, maybe faster. But you can't say that for everybody in our surrounding area. So I'll put our guys up against anybody. So Stuart, thank you for your service, and the rest of the LVFD for your service, and Chief, for you and your group too, for keeping our community safe. That's it.
Well, thank you, and you're welcome at the same time. So with that, that's going to take us to our consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered and voted upon as one item unless a council member or a member of the public requests individual consideration. They are 3-1 approval of minutes, regular meeting November 15th, 2022. 3-2 approval of resolution 2022-41, authorizing continued use of remote teleconferencing provisions, AB 361. Approval of the budget amendment to upfitting 2 police vehicles. 3-4 approval of the budget amendment, addition funds for the street light improvements. 3-5 approval of the change order CIP 5508, the Hess Basin channel drainage. 3-6 the notice of completion, the CIP 5508 for the Hess Basin channel drainage. Golly, it seems like it was the exact same thing. 3-7 the budget amendment and agreement between the city of Lemoore and Motorola Solutions for the purchase of the implementation of the dispatch communications and the 911 call talking equipment. 3-8 bid award, the Cimarron lift station, CIP 5309. 3-9 notice of completion, CIP 5705, the downtown parking lot project. And 3-10 the budget amendment for the Lemoore Police Shoe Drive. So, council, would you guys, anybody like to pull any of these items? No, really? Would any member of the public like to pull anything off of the consent calendar? Yeah. 3-3, the upfitting of the 2 police vehicles. Oh, chief, you're gonna get to come talk. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Okay,
Minus 3-3.
all right. There's no more, right? Marissa, that was it? All right. Okay, so I have a motion by Mrs. Matthews. I need a second.
Second.
Mr. Gornick. So Mrs. Matthews, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Gornick,
Yes.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Orth.
Yes.
Aye, I vote aye as well. So with the exception of 3-3, consent calendar passes. So with that being said, 3-3 approval of budget amendment outfitting the 2 police vehicles. I keep saying policy. Is that going to be chief? I'm
I'll
guessing.
take it. Marissa, can you put the staff report up?
Yeah.
Yes. Start out with that.
We pulled 3-3, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good evening again, Mayor and council members.
Chief.
So in 2021, we purchased 2 new vehicles. Those vehicles, we always make those vehicle purchases July 2nd, right after those that budget is ratified, right? We weren't able to get any vehicles. We ended up finding 2 vehicles through Enterprise. When we received those vehicles, we take those vehicles to paint, we take them to graphics, and then we take them up to Cooks to get upfitted with lights, sirens, radios, whatnot. And in this case, one of them was a canine car. So due to COVID and due to supply chain issues, Cooks wasn't able to get those parts, and those vehicles essentially sat in our back parking lot until Cooks obtained all those parts and we're ready to build out that vehicle. So unfortunately, those vehicles weren't completed within that budget cycle. Those funds were returned to the general fund and really this is kind of cleanup to get those funds back allocated so we can pay for it. I'll entertain any questions.
This is Jennifer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that answered my question when I was looking at it because I had originally missed the budget meeting. If I'm understanding the budget meeting correctly, we were still in the hole, planning to be in the hole. And then I was like, and so that answered my question of it sounds like it just, like you said, delayed. But then I also wondered, are there any other vehicles? And I think because you already purchased the vehicles, but this is probably answer is no. But it reminded me of, are there any other vehicles that we've talked about selling that we could also uplift for police if needed? So just wondering if there are any other resources out there that would help you.
We do that. And in this case, I do believe we took one of the radios out of it just to get one up and running until Cooks could get a hold of a new radio for it. We don't like to do that. We like to start fresh with each vehicle, but.
Yeah, because maybe you don't know like when it'll run out or whatever. Got it. Thank you for
Right.
answering the questions.
Absolutely.
Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
So, excuse me. So what is Inner West Consulting Group? 3-3. Why not?
That's,
Wrong item.
yeah, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. My disregard.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna look for a motion to accept 3-3.
Motion.
Okay,
Second,
Mr. Orr and Mrs. Matthews. Mr. Orr, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews,
yes.
Cheney, Mr. Cheney, Mr. Gornick.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. 3-3 passes. So that's gonna take us to the public hearing. 4-1. Public hearing, the resolution 2022-42. Amending the master use fee schedule to revise and update fees associated with facility and park rentals. Mr. Greenlee.
Good evening again, everyone. One of the challenges we have and frustrations we've had in the rec department is that our fee schedule was incomplete. And when we went through it, it's hard for us to take reservations, tell people how much things cost when we don't have anything to go off of. So what we did as a department, we went through and said, let's get all the items that are missing and let's put fees to them. And what we did is we went through cities that are close by and out of the area. We kind of looked at what they charge and we looked at what we charge. So we put this together, our fee schedule, and I'm presenting it tonight for your approval. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Yes, sir.
So where are these fees going to be posted?
If approved by council, they'll be posted to the website under our master fee users. And depending on when we're asking for immediate effect, to take effect immediately, so we would post them.
Okay. And so if I were going to rent something, how would I pay for it?
So currently you would come in and you would fill out an application and then you could pay, or you can call us and we will take payment over the phone. Those are our two options we have.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. So we are working on the Tyler Tech Parks and Rec module.
Yeah.
Probably gonna roll out in the March timeframe. So then residents will be able to go on and make all their reservations online at their own leisure and time. It'll be all online, or they come to the office and we can still do it for them.
Okay, so March, what's your?
Yes, we've already started training. Nyant, Stephanie, Ray and myself have spent, I don't know how many
Great idea. It's just
study
it needs
sessions.
to be convenient.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's more convenient for us also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Less time.
Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Super, good.
Anything else from council? Any other questions? So with that, we're gonna go ahead and open it to public comment. Or public hearing, I'm sorry, same thing, not really.
Kind of sort of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. So, any member of the public?
Awesome. Hello. I don't know if these were just like little details that confused me. And I thought, gosh, if I'm a resident and confused me, I better speak up before it gets confused. But if this needs to be like an offline conversation, that's totally fine. But it was little things like you put C for change. And I saw one line that didn't have any changes. Or like a lot of them were saying, you know, this amount for this many hours, but then when we got to kitchen, it was per hour, but with 44-hour minimum, which I thought was just a little confusing to kind of make it just more consistent. And then with like the Heritage Park, it talked about like one section, but it didn't have like the entire park cost where the others had like the entire park cost, or same with like Lions Park. It's like one section of what? Is it one section of the eating area? You know, it also didn't have entire park, or it was like those little tiny things. I just didn't know if it mattered. So I just wanted to speak up. Thank
Yeah, to
you.
answer that, Jennifer, we do have it written down in a way that we've been doing it. So when you rent a section, say, for example, Lions Park, you can rent section 1 or 2 or the whole thing. We do have that fee in there. We do 4-hour minimums on some rentals. The reason being is we don't do an all day because we have people come in and say, I only want it for a certain amount of time, and they don't want to pay for a full 8 hours. So then what we do is we have the minimum, and then we have each additional hour.
But if somebody were to ask for an 8-hour reservation, they would pay the 2 4-hour fees. And
Yes.
and please bear in mind too, that these facilities, not our buildings, but any park, any pavilion, any eating area is free to the public. These fees only apply if you want to ensure you get the reservation and can have access to that. Other than that, they are all first come, first serve at 0 charge.
Yes.
Unless somebody has reservations.
Correct. Once it's reserved, they go out and they post it reserved with the dates, and then that individual,
City staff does that. the
Yes.
Yes.
reserving Signage
Yes.
and all that.
yes,
You have a cancellation policy or?
yes.
We do in certain cases on the rental, and then others, it's non-refundable. It's all on our applications that we have. Everything is clearly spelled out. And it's also on our website.
Any other public comment at this time? So I'm gonna go ahead and close public hearing, bring it back to council. Council, is there any other further discussion?
Yeah, just for example, your rec center, the entire facility. $1,200, $1,300 for 6 hours. I'm trying to read this and what's on how you're rolling this.
So it looks like.
Yeah.
Right? Correct.
Does that cover your costs?
Yes, we went through this and we looked at it and said, you know, this is what we're trying to keep
For all
it
your cleanup
reasonable.
costs and-
Yes,
okay.
correct.
Good, thanks.
Anything further from council? No. So we're going to look for a motion to adopt resolution 2022-43.
So move to adopt.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Gornick. Do I have a second? Mrs. Matthews, Mr. Gornick,
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Orth.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. 4-1 passes.
Thank you, Ray.
Resolution
All right, thank you so much.
2022-42. And that's going to take us to 4-2, public hearing, the amendment to the military policy 709. Mr. Kendall, again? Wow, you must be getting tired walking back and forth.
Trying to get it all caught up before the new year. Good evening again, Mayor and council members. So if you remember, back in April, I brought forward a study session and really in accordance with AB 481 and the military equipment use policy. And it lays out a certain amount of parameters that we have to have in place for us to have certain items and deploy certain items in accordance with our jobs. So during this budget cycle, we budgeted for a DJI mini drone. It's a lot smaller than the drone that we already have in our equipment. It allows us to fly that drone directly into a house prior to making entry into a hazardous situation where we wouldn't be able to do that with our big drone. So in accordance with AB 481, we had to place this on our website, put our draft military use or military equipment use policy. How to draft, we did that over 30 days ago. And then we have to bring it before you for approval to be able to implement that drone.
Okay, council, any comment before we open public hearing?
You can fly that inside of a house.
It's very small.
I have one.
Yeah.
You can fly it inside the house. I've tried.
Yeah,
It's
no,
very- You're very good at it.
I watched our guys do it. I was kind of skeptical myself and they flew it down the hallway of the PD and it was kind of impressive, but
Very impressive. I've tried to fly mine in my house and it doesn't work very
Right.
well.
Operator error.
No.
Sounds like it. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and open to public hearing at this time. Public hearing is now open. Any member of the public? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Chief Kendall. I did have a question. I don't think it's necessarily off topic, just more of a point of interest. When deploying the use of military equipment such as a drone, is the warrant process for how an officer would regularly enter a building still the same for the drone? How are the citizens' constitutional rights protected in this process?
no, absolutely. It's the same. It's no different than sending an officer into a house. We still have to have the legal justification to be inside that house in order to deploy a drone in that aspect. So most likely we will have a search warrant for that house, an arrest warrant for a person within that house in order to be able to fly that drone inside somebody's house. You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from Jennifer Solis.
Good evening again. I just wanted to say, I think that I'm just so excited that that's something that can protect our officers because I know they go into very scary situations. So I'm just excited and support the project. Just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comment from the public before we close public hearing? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Back to council. We're looking for a motion to amend the military police 709.
Motion.
Okay, I have got a motion from Mr. Orth. I need a second from Mr. Gornick. So, Mr. Orth, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Gornick?
All right.
Mr. Cheney?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. So, chief, you get your drone. That's going to take us to new business, 5-1. Approval of resolution 2022-43 declaring the fact of the city election and statement of the election results for November 8th, 2022. Mrs. Avalos.
Good evening. So as you are aware, we do consolidate our election with the Kings County Elections Office. So they certified the election results for the November 8th general municipal election. So this resolution is approving the official canvass and certification of the election results by the county clerk for the November 8th, 2022 election. So it's certifying that Stuart Lyons in District A received 1,015 votes and Frank Gornick in District C received 973 votes.
So you're
So-
saying I won?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Barely, Mickey Mouse had 1,000 votes.
So I will just need a motion to approve. the-
Motion.
What happens if we don't approve it?
Well, let's see if it doesn't get approved first. So I already have a motion from
Yes.
Mr. Orth. I need a second.
I'll second.
Oh, wow. Okay, Mrs. Matthews, Mr. Orth,
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews.
Yes.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Gornick.
Right.
I feel like I should say no, just, all right, I'll vote aye. All right.
So I should probably check if we have anyone online.
So, okay, let's,
Oh.
Okay, so that takes us through 5-1. That's into 5-2. The administration of the oath of office.
Okay, so now that the election results have been approved and certified, it's time to do the oath of office for Mr. Lyons and Mr. Gornick. So if you can stand up there if you'd like to stand up here and I'll administer the oath.
Right, we'll stand right here.
Okay.
Oh, right there?
Wow.
It's better photo op down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I will read the oath and at the end you can state I do. So if you can please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
I do.
All right, congratulations. And if I can have you sign,
We do too.
so that one's for Mr. Gornick and that one's for us. And then the one in the back. Just do that.
Someone's gonna say something. Someone's gonna say.
Save that in case we'll have to be.
And then these are certificates that were provided by the county elections office.
Congratulations, guys.
Okay, so now that's going to take us to 5-3. The city council reorganization, election of mayor and mayor pro tem. Mrs. Avalos again.
Alrighty, so now that the council members have been sworn in, it is time for the reorganization of the council. The election of mayor and mayor pro tem. While Lemoore Municipal Code is silent on the election of the mayor and mayor pro tem, the city's practice has been to hold an election of the mayor and mayor pro tem among the council members every 2 years. I will chair the reorganization process. I will call for nominations for mayor, and any council member may nominate another council member or himself, herself. When there are no further nominations, I will close the nominations and call for a motion to approve a nominee. If there is more than one nomination, a call for a motion will be taken in the order the nomination was received. A council member may make a motion to approve any of the nominees. If the motion fails, a council member may make a motion to approve a different nominee. Upon a second and a majority vote of the council, a nominee shall become the mayor. The same process is followed for the position of mayor pro tem. So I will now open nominations for mayor.
I'd like to nominate Stuart Lyons for mayor.
I would like to nominate Patricia Matthews for mayor.
Any other nominations? So no more nominations. I will close the nominations. As there is more than one nomination, a vote will be taken in last name alphabetical order. So I need a motion to appoint Mayor Lyons as mayor.
So move.
Stuart Lyons. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So I have a motion by Councilmember Gornick and a second by Councilmember Lyons to appoint Mayor Lyons as mayor, so roll call. Councilmember Cheney,
What was that?
Somebody's alarm's going on.
Probably thunder.
Yeah, alarms are going off.
Yeah, Marissa, start with the person who made the motion, then who did the second, and then go down.
okay, so
Hold-
it
hold on a
does go in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
I'll vote aye.
Mike's out there, let me ask Mike.
Can no one else?
Oh, wow.
Thunder.
I made somebody's alarm go off.
That was long.
When you're taking a vote, start with the maker of the motion, then who did
Yeah.
the second,
Gornick.
then go on, start with Councilmember Gornick.
Okay, so roll call, Councilmember Gornick,
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons,
Aye.
Mayor, Councilmember Cheney. Councilmember Orth
No.
and Mayor Pro Tem Matthews.
Respectfully, no.
Alrighty, so the motion failed. So I need a motion to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Matthews as mayor.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Councilmember Orth and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Matthews to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Matthews as mayor. So roll call, Councilmember Orth,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Matthews,
Yes.
Councilmember Cheney,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
No.
and Mayor Lyons.
No.
All right, so with the majority vote, your new mayor is Patricia Matthews. Congratulations. So I will now, we'll do the same thing for Mayor Pro Tem. So I will now open nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Gornick.
And I'd like to nominate Mr. Orth.
Any other nominations? All right, if there are no further nominations, I will close the nominations. So I need a motion to appoint Councilmember Gornick as Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
so I have a motion by Councilmember Lyons and a second by Councilmember Cheney to appoint Councilmember Gornick as Mayor Pro Tem. So I will do a roll call. Lyons,
Yes.
Councilmember Cheney,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
Yes.
Councilmember Orth,
No.
and Mayor Matthews.
No.
So with a majority vote, the motion passes. So your new Mayor Pro Tem is Councilmember Gornick. So it's removed.
Yeah.
Shuffle. Yep.
Yeah, you get to.
Where's it say that?
You don't normally, but you can have. I'm sure people do.
Wait, can I go back? Wait for Marissa to go back. Okay. I'm gonna open it to the public if anybody has any comments. Mr. Walker?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and hello, council members. I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the four-way test and Rotary, particularly the passage about service. Without, regardless of what title you hold on the council tonight, all of you were elected to serve the public, and I truly appreciate the position that you're in. I want to congratulate each of you for taking on this role to serve our community. Service is a virtue, in my personal opinion, and I truly appreciate the dedication that each of you have for our city. And I wish you the best. And I also wanted to personally wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else from the public?
Dave Brown, 89 Devon Drive, Lemoore. Just want to thank this council. I want to thank Stuart, you did a good job. Because you did a good job, and the rest of your council members did a good job too. You guys kept this city running. You did good. Working as a team. It's not easy. I used to be up there. I know. What you guys do is besides this and all the boards, commissions you're on that people don't know about, and what you do, and you bring money back to Lemoore. Thank you. A lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice you guys have to go through for what little you get. But I want to thank you. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor
Thank you.
and Mayor Pro Tem. I know you guys will steer the ship well. Thank you.
Jennifer Solis?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to echo their comments. I was like, wow, they're saying what I've said. I've been really impressed with the last few years of not only Stuart's leadership, but the council's ability to remain diplomatic, to involve the public, to be present and to make the hard decisions. And I just commend you for that. And I wish you well and good luck in the new season. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to brief city council reports and requests. Councilmember Cheney,
Nothing.
Councilmember Lyons,
Yeah, I would like to thank Mr. Greenlee again and and his whole department, everything that they did for the tree lighting ceremony downtown. And I'd also like to thank the chamber for the Christmas parade that we had here the other day. Maybe next year we'll get a little bit more floats in that thing, but it was pretty good nonetheless. So, and congratulations, Miss Matthews. It's a fun chair to sit in, let me tell you. You know, all the luck to you, and Mr. Gornick, you too, young man. I'm done.
Mr. Orr.
I too want to thank all the city staff, everybody that worked hard, chambers, everybody, downtown merchants on the Christmas parade and the jingle meaning for the
Jingle and mingle.
Yeah, that thing. It was excellent. Spent a lot of time down there. Had the opportunity to ride in a fire truck for the parade with Jason Blankenship and Mayor Matthews now. And it was very fun. It was interesting watching the mayor learn how to use the air horn on a fire truck and wake up a whole lot of people. But thank you for Public Works. You guys did an excellent job. And Ray, all you, the rec center, everybody does a great job on the tree lighting thing. Like Nathan said, it went off without a hitch. Downtown lights look great. Downtown looks great. December cart buses, you can ride for free so many times. I don't know if there's a limit on that. I can't remember. They were talking about it. So everyone use cart buses. And also the cart is looking at adding a shelter on Hanford Road in front of the church. I think it's the Seventh-day Advent. They're gonna be contacting the city to get permission and figure out how to do it. I think it's it's the Mormon church. I think it's 7-day Advent or whatever. So there. So they'll be contacting whoever they're looking into it. So hopefully we can get a cover over there to keep the rain off of the riders. I too want to congratulate Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. It was an interesting event and we all worked good together and we need to keep it up. And thank you. Congratulations, Stu, and on your elections, and Frank, you're good. That's it. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Mayor Pro Tem Warren.
Just a couple of things. Also, Mr. Greenlee, great job with the jingle and mingle. I enjoyed that. I like the idea of having something around the tree, the ceremony like that. That's a nice little event to bring people together. It does distinguish us from other communities, which is nice. I was on Armona Road today, and I also happened to go by the 19th, the intersection there, and also took a look at the industrial park there. And I noticed they were working at the lemonade place. And I thought, oh, power must be on. So I went over there and the power's on, but it's a big ass a big generator in the back. That they're paying a significant amount of money to keep on. But I had a chance to talk with the plumbers who were installing equipment there, and I got a little firsthand tour of some of that stuff. Very impressive.
They're on the schedule to be powered up by PG&E this month.
Oh, great, that's good. But what the kind of equipment that's there and the precision of the technology, I was really impressed, and they were telling me what they've been talked to about their plans, which I'm sure you know about, but that would sure be nice if they could do that for us. That would be great. About bring other people in. That's good. Yeah. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you. A reluctant volunteer for this job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Stuart, good job. Thank you.
So real quick, the city clerk just reminded me, I forgot earlier. Typically, when we reseat council, we would bring back at a later date all the boards and commissions, unless council gives us direction to hold pat and just keep everybody. Or would you like a shake it, a reshuffle, and a renomination of all those positions? I'm just looking for direction.
No,
I'm just learning mine on groundwater stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
leave it.
Looks like we're
Yeah.
good.
Leave it. Got three head now. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave all your appointments the same, then thank you.
Thank you, sir. I just want to piggyback on all of my fellow council members. Thanks and gratitude for our Parks and Rec Department, our Police Department, and our Fire Department. Thank you guys all for all your hard work that you do for us. And congratulations, Mr. Gornick and Mr. Lyons, on your reelection. I'm sure your campaigning was strenuous and you can take a break now. So congratulations. And with that, we'll be adjourned.